Am I right?
Oh, look at us. Starting on time.
Tell me what's going on, Twisted Cupid.
Yes, this is the Twisted Cupid podcast. You heard the
Love
man.
it.
Yes.
Thursday night on the Twisted Cupid podcast.
Yes, you heard the man. This is the Twisted Cupid podcast. As you can see, Suzanne Leah Shepherd is back as co-host. How's it going, Suzanne?
Yeah, filling in for Amy. And you know me. I don't like to start a podcast unless a dog's butthole is 6 inches from my nose.
That's right. It's in her writer now.
It just is. It's not good karma. I've said it once. I'll say it again.
Yes.
I need a dog's butthole 6 inches from my nose before I start this podcast.
6 inches. Oddly enough, though, no brown M&Ms in the jar, though. It's just real specific.
No dingleberries.
That's right.
So
right.
I'm saying that, listeners, as a teaser, because if you're listening to this, of course we are so appreciative, but know that we're on YouTube, and it's a much fuller experience if you watch it online. You can see exactly where the dog's butthole is every time.
I mean, what are you going to watch? Dog porn, audio only?
Gross.
That's crazy. You
Gross.
can't do
That's
that.
not
You can
how you
only
watch dog
listen
porn.
to it.
Yeah.
Bonus points if you see her hair move.
That's right. You got really good eyes, and we have a damn good camera. You can see every little fold in that bugger.
We want it to be the closest experience you get to your own sexual fantasy.
Yeah,
whatever that may be.
We're the Stanley Kubrick of dogs' buttholes. We're the best at it.
That's how I think you described it to me. I was like, what is this podcast about? And you're like, so you've heard of Stanley Kubrick.
Every time you watch the dog's butthole, you notice something new every time.
Every time.
Yeah,
It's really wild. But let's introduce our two awesome guests, man. First up, he is a returning guest, a hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only Chris Wagner. Thank you for being back on the show.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Absolutely, man.
That
Always
means
a
I'm
pleasure.
doing something right.
That's right. You're always doing something right. Tell them where they can find you.
We are at a comedy show every weekend.
Stand
It's a
good
great
show.
Yeah.
It's a
Damn
great
good
show.
We're moving
see it.
around. We're doing satellite shows now, not just at 1&1. So
Oh,
go
nice.
go to ugcomedy.com.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go check it out, people. They produce really good
UG.
shows. He's a hilarious stand-up comic as well. So double threat, as they say. He's also got an even better butthole than the dog. So I'll say triple threat.
Yeah, you can find that at
I didn't know you
Wagner.
guys. That's great.
Yes. Absolutely.
Wait, sorry, what was your Instagram
plug your
handle again?
OnlyFans.
At Wagner with a D. Wagnerd.
There you go.
Ah,
Wagner.
got it. Oh, great
Definitely
pun.
butthole shots
Great
on
pun.
there.
That's
Yeah,
right.
well,
That's right.
If Denise Richards can do it, so can we, okay?
Yes.
That's where I'm drawing the line.
Yes.
If you were Charlie's Angel, I'm going to do exactly what you were doing, Denise.
That's right. That's right.
First
Oh, no,
name
not
basis.
Charlie's Angel, Bond Girl. Duh.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mixed them up. I mixed them up.
Yeah.
If you were a Charlie's Angel, which you were not.
Yeah. That was a little too prestigious for her acting career. Am I right? Am I right up top?
Absolutely.
Don't hate me.
Absolutely. let's introduce our second guest.
Yeah.
Woo.
She is also a hilarious stand-up comic. She's a first-time guest to the podcast. The one, the only Hannah Lieberman. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
My
Tell us-
writer just said I would need to be kissed on the lips
There
by
you
the
go.
dog.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
Continually kissed on the lips.
a more wholesome writer, if I can say so.
Is it though? This one's I feel like more of an HR violation.
Yeah. Well, it's the M&Ms had to have fentanyl in them, so it's like she's got her vices too.
Yeah.
I can tell if they don't. I can always
Yeah.
tell like right away.
Right.
I feel like your writer is just kind of literally writing it in. She's like, she wants to have a summer Friday. She's
Yeah.
That's
like,
right.
It
have
was
the
me.
dog-
I wrote it myself. I'm not that
Oh,
fancy
oh,
yet. Ghostwriting my own shit.
Yeah.
The
Never write your own
the
writer.
curtain has been pulled back, but
Yeah, guys, I write my own material and I
There you
write
go.
my
Whoa.
own. I know.
What a progressive woman.
It's kind of crazy.
There we go.
I was doing other material and I was like, it's tough out there as a black man, and everyone was
Uh-huh.
like, that's not. It's not registering.
Yeah.
It's not personal
As
enough.
a black man riding the subway.
And they were like,
crazy.
wait a minute. She takes the bus. Yeah.
And then you ask them if they ever noticed that women be shopping, and they
Oh
were like,
my
"She's gonna
God.
keep doing this the whole set."
I never asked them that because I be shopping. So I ran out of time
That's
from
right.
all the be shopping I do.
We have so many verbs that we can use in this day and age, and so it's, you got to use them wisely.
It's
That's
true.
right. That's right. The shopping one was taken. But you know what is not taken? These hilarious dating questions from Reddit. We're going to take them right now. If you guys got any questions to write them in to twistedcupidpodcast@gmail.com, or even better, write them in live on YouTube every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Give us your comments. Give us your questions right there in the chat. Oh, shout out to producer Amy. She's watching from the chat. Shout out to Tom on YouTube. They say hello. Thank you for being here. If you're listening on the audio only, as Suzanne said, we still love you, but come on over to YouTube, watch it live, comment live, question live. We're going to take our first one live here from the Wild Animals on Reddit.
First question.
Oh, tell them the theme first.
Oh, sorry. So the theme for this week is Blistered Love. And
That was my Twitter handle.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's in regards to, when something seems so great and then all of a sudden you're like, that looks infected.
Sure.
That looks like I should go to the doctor.
Right.
That sounds really bad.
Do blisters start out looking great? That's not how blisters work.
Well, they don't look great. What they do is they look hopeful. Like that could just be an ingrown
think-
hair.
Yeah,
Just a little red.
It's a little red, and then
I
it
think
puffs up.
that
and
it's
then it feels better.
you don't ever intend to get blisters, but you always don't intend to get blisters. is
You're
what
like,
I'm trying
oh,
to
it's just
say.
a nice day in the sun.
Yeah.
And then, not
Yeah.
for me.
Oh my God,
Not
this
for red.
relationship is going to be so great. Oh my God, it's going to be so great for me to lay out by the pool for 8 hours. And then 8 hours later, one relationship later, you blistered.
Boom.
Yeah.
You
Boom.
blistered.
It's
You
not-
blistered.
From bliss to blistered.
Like a
Oh,
blister.
nice,
Yes.
nice.
Oh my God.
There
Oh
we
my
go.
God.
It's not like new shoe blister.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
in the bathroom blister.
That sounds like the song that. Yeah.
yeah, bliss.
That's the
the
song
bliss.
that Taylor Swift is going to write after Travis Kelce gives her herpes.
It's already
Absolutely.
happened.
Oh, shout out to Abiola Adidiji, a friend of
Hello.
the show in the
Oh,
in the
hi,
chat there.
Abiola.
Hey,
Oh my
how's
God,
it going,
he makes
Abiola?
the best
He
cookies.
does. He does.
Okay.
Let's take our first one from the Wild Animals on Reddit.
First question. Boyfriend won't let me use my baby blanket. Oh, I'm 26 and my boyfriend is 29. I've had my baby blankets that I cuddle with since I was a baby, and it's been helping me with my stress and anxiety, mainly because I comfort it, and maybe because I find comfort in the smell and the texture. However, my boyfriend thinks it's gross. And it's weird that I still have this childish habit. And he told me that I need to grow out of it because I'm an adult. So he hid my baby blanket from me for my
Wow.
Yes, I love this. Man.
I've been very stressed since. I have been crying the whole day because he neglects my feelings by saying that this blanket is a weird crutch and I don't need it. And the fact that I'm reacting this way shows that I'm unhealthily addicted to this blanket like a drug addict begging for drugs.
I wouldn't have agreed with him until that last sentence. That was a little weird. That was a little weird.
I tried to tell him how important the blanket is to me, but he won't listen to me and asked for alternatives like using a different blanket. But he said no because it's a habit of cuddling. I know that he just wants the best for me, but I really want my blanket back!
Wow.
I'm so unmotivated to do anything, and I just want to raw. I don't know what to do. Is my habit actually unhealthy and childish, or is this something that I need to get rid of?
It's a
Wow.
yes and yes. Like, what? What?
Yeah.
Okay, because my first instinct is this boyfriend is an asshole, and then my other
Right.
instinct is she needs to get rid of this blanket.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm against
True.
both of them.
It's-
I think both of them are in the complete wrong because
Yeah.
it sounds like it's one of those blankets. You know, when you're little and you're like, this blanket is like fun to put in my mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just like random textures you're into. She probably humped that blanket. Let's be
Right.
honest. Like,
Yeah.
that blanket saw her through puberty. That
Okay.
blanket needs to go in the
Yeah.
wash many times.
She used to twist it up and spit on it and do all kinds of weird things.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
I don't know. He sounds like he has control issues
Yes.
Yeah.
over her.
Yes.
And if it makes her happy wife sort of
Yeah,
scenario.
sounds like he
and
doesn't wanna
although
cuddle
she
her.
may need like, I don't know, maybe not if she sucks her thumb and holds it and gets hysterical after, she needs to work on herself. But to have one thing from your, I don't know. I
know.
I have a little shrine of things that I don't
my God, I
care
love
if they're
that.
there.
See, I
Like
think
my
that's great.
dad's high school ring, my mom's ring, a couple of Buddha things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really?
It's nice to have, but to take it away from you, that's just a little.
And
I like that
also-
you're comparing religious items to
It
like
could be.
a
It
baby
makes her
blanket.
feel
but
good.
again, he's talking about physical things.
Sure.
It's like had they made a baby ring, and she was like, "Oh, it's my baby ring," whatever.
Right.
It's I
had this cock ring since I was a boy.
And you want to keep the cock ring.
I mean, I haven't grown out of
You
it.
have your cock still.
Yeah.
I totally get what Chris is saying. Is like it's a physical reminder of the fact that you've been alive, and it's a tangible thing that you can sort of like always. Oh yeah, I have always had this, because sometimes people have unstable relationships through their lives. It's this one tangible thing that you had.
Yeah, life sucks. I mean, if you have something like that, fantastic.
He also said, like, you don't need this. The fact that you're crying shows you depend on it, which to me sounds like need this. Like, why take? He's like, you don't need this, and then she's like crying hysterically because he took it away.
Yeah.
And it's like
It's
sounds
nutty.
like
A little
It's nutty.
like
He's kind of right and kind
sounds
of
like
wrong.
sounds like she does need this though. Like you don't get rid of you don't go cold turkey because like your guy demands it.
But also,
Right.
I think there's that's two pronged in the sense that him saying what she does and does not need, which is none of his goddamn business.
Yeah.
But two, it's him labeling that and her again like needing it or not. That's for her to decide.
Right.
What she does.
Sure.
And I agree
She should
with
have
you.
to come to that.
So
on her
sorry,
own
that's not
terms.
two prong. That was just one
No,
prong.
I get what you're
But I
saying.
made that one prong really long. If that makes sense.
It would have been like 2 paragraphs.
Yeah,
For a
it's
prong.
it's a long
2 paragraph
a long
prong.
Yeah, because all she's going to do is go more extreme into the blanket, I feel, by
Exactly.
being yanked away from it on someone else's terms.
Well,
Something
and
else is-
also, like you were saying, it's not like she's not like this is my emotional support fentanyl. You know what I mean? Like this,
Yeah.
like it's a blanket. And also, it sounds
I
like
need to do a
if
bump
she
before the
needs
gym.
cuddles, it sounds like you're not cuddling her. And then she says that
Yeah.
he said, like, no, you're dependent on cuddles. Like,
Right.
shit, she's filling the void with a blanket and not another dude's dick. Like,
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also,
She's gonna
I was
eventually,
gonna
though. That's my
I was
prediction.
going to say, take away that blanket and
Yeah.
something else is going to fill her void.
yeah,
Yeah.
fill that
Absolutely.
void.
And-
Because it sounds reasonable at first.
let's just do a little math here as well. Let's just throw out some numbers. Let's say a baby blanket is 36 inches by 36 inches, right?
Right.
And over time, that's gonna shrink down. That's
Yeah.
gonna shrink down.
Yeah.
And he is not filling that 6-inch void.
No. No.
Yeah.
Not that we should, shame penises.
No. He's got to.
but
He's got to get a.
If you're gonna be an asshole, I'm gonna call out your dick.
That's right. That's right. And she's going to find other dicks out there, because what she's saying before she gets all nutty and talks about crying in the middle, she sounds very reasonable up top. So to a horny dude in the bar, he's immediately going to be like, absolutely, you can bring your baby blanket.
Right?
Come on,
Yeah.
let's
There's
go
like
back
the
to my
grown-up
place.
version of Linus from the Peanuts cartoons. Who's like,
She's going to be
he's
covered
like,
in a...
I'm sensitive. I play the piano,
Right.
and I got a blankie too. And then like,
She's going to be covered in a blanket of pubes if he doesn't give it back to her.
yeah,
Yeah.
Be careful, bro.
But I just want to say, it's, you were saying that she doesn't, I honestly think, I don't think that she's crying necessarily because you took the blanket away. I think that she's crying because there are probably other elements of control in the relationship.
Yep.
And she broke. There's probably other things he's doing. He did this as clearly out of spite. And she's crying because she realizes that she's living with a complete douchebag.
I agree this guy is a complete douchebag. I don't know if there's I'm not convinced there's necessarily other specific things that he's doing, because I feel that since she's the one that wrote this, they would be in there. Like, she would have mentioned those things, because like she's trying to drive the point home. This guy's being a controlling dick. So if he was doing other shit, it probably would have been there.
I think
know?
the point is, if she's putting this problem on Reddit this heated and doesn't feel like she can talk to him about it right now, my only like for sure takeaway is I don't think this is a good relationship.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
only, like, it's like the am I the asshole, where it's like I don't know what the conclusion is, but y'all need to break up.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, they say opposites attract, but I don't think you should be too opposite. You know what I mean?
I'm dependent on my blankie,
Yeah.
and he's a control freak. Together, we're one adult.
Right.
But this is
Right. They're both insane.
This is, again, I'm happily married, but if I ever downloaded a dating app again, this is good information to put on my profile. What are the things you have from your childhood that you could never part from again? You know, those are good base questions.
I feel like this is probably the weirdest thing about her, and she needs to find someone close enough in her life. If they can't cure her of this, which obviously they either can't or won't, they should. I feel everybody, if they're still dating or whatever, needs to find a really good friend of theirs to be like, listen, I'm putting stuff on my dating app. What is the worst thing about me? What do people need to know?
Yeah, be upfront, not necessarily from the get.
And
because
also,
I don't think she realizes this is weird.
I don't think she necessarily has to get rid of it. I think it's just to like put it in there for when you're PMSing real hard or you had a tough day at the office.
Yeah,
but like
right.
don't have the baby blanket out when you're having sex. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think like
Oh
just
my
keep
God.
it in the closet,
Yes.
pull it out when you need it.
I agree with you. I don't think she's doing moderation with this thing.
Yeah,
yet,
baby
I
though,
agree.
steps.
Based
Baby
on her
steps.
crazy
I think there's
reaction
a-
on not having
she
it.
does clarify that she only uses it when she if I'm comfort and smell,
Is in bed. No.
I only find when I'm coming. No, she doesn't say that. She just says it's. She is clear in saying. Maybe I deleted it because she kind of rambled. But
She seems like
but
a
she
rambler.
did say it's not like she takes it out to the grocery store with her.
Sure.
It's literally when she's like falling asleep on a sleepy Tuesday night. Then she
Yeah.
gets out the baby
And here's my other
blanket.
thing.
guy's
I'd
not
have
too
a lot
bad.
more sympathy for her guy if he sounded like a good cuddler, and he sounds like a shit cuddler because he was
Yeah.
like, "You're dependent on cuddles."
The
if it
cuddling
was
comment's
like,
odd.
"You're cuddling your blanket, but not me," it
Yeah.
sounds like he's like, "I want you cuddling nothing at all."
That's right. I want you to stand up
Right.
and sleep flat
Yeah.
up and down like they do in Coneheads.
Yeah.
You know, everyone calls
No
Dolly.
cuddling.
Everyone calls. Well, no, it's not Dolly Parton. It's what's that song? I think it's a Patsy Cline. "Stand by Your Man."
Yes.
That was.
Uh-huh.
She was the first woman to woman shame women from
Yeah.
having baby blankets.
That's
still.
right. Stand by your man.
Stand by your man and give up your baby blanket.
The next song on the
What are
CD
you
was.
supposed to be about your man?
Also, don't cuddle him too much. He don't like it. It makes you look weak, girl. How you gonna survive on the prairie?
We get sweaty after sex.
Yeah. You were supposed to lay there and take. Okay.
This guy's out of his mind. I feel the same way about this guy as I do about Benjamin Netanyahu. He had a right to respond. He did. He went a little fucking nuts, though. He went a little fucking overboard, this fella. He decided to blow everything to smithereens. He did. He's a little too much. And I
Because
don't...
if she gets rid of her baby blanket, he goes to prison. No, wait.
Yes, that's right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I support
well-
this guy in theory. I just don't want to give him $20 billion. Is what I'm saying about this
I
guy
support the
taking the
apartment's
blanket.
right to exist,
Yes. Yes.
but not an apartheid apartment.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He's trying to take the cuddles away by force, and that's wrong.
I feel like I just
From
like
apartment
got
to
admitted
apartment.
into Columbia just based on that conversation.
Shit, yeah,
You
dude.
do?
Am I an Ivy Leaguer now?
Yes.
I didn't apply to Columbia because I was scared of the city. So my mom drove me down and we toured Swarthmore instead.
Nice. Nice. Shout out to Joel and Alexander in the chat. How's it going?
BB needs a
BB needs a banky, Alexander. Thank you. Joel on YouTube says, if that was, why doesn't she smother him with the blanket in his sleep? Yeah, that's
a
a
really
good
good
one.
one.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
the best. What's that old Julia Roberts movie, Sleeping with the Enemy?
Uh-huh. I like it.
Doesn't she?
I thought you were going to say Julia Child, which in my mind, like, if you're afraid of butter, use cream.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Julia
Smother him with the blanket.
Julia Child just
I like it.
murders people with
Julia-
unsalted butter.
I would watch the shit out of Julia Child, like killing people with their
yeah.
baby blankets.
Yeah.
That'd be
That sounds
good.
like an incredible show.
I kind of prefer to die that way.
Yeah. She's the angel of death. and
If
she just-
Julia Child came back from the dead and smothered me with I don't have a baby blanket, but if Julia Child came back from the dead, smothered me to death with my own dead baby blanket.
This would be a good one. This would be a
Jesus,
good
take
movie.
the wheel. Like,
Frank, you don't want me
perfect.
snuggling with my baby blanket? Well, then you get to cuddle it to death. It's going to be the last thing you ever see, smell, or feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's what's so crazy about that movie is it would be a jukebox musical to the stuff of the B-52s. It's so
Yeah.
wild.
Oh my God! Shut up.
What
They
is
just
this movie?
spun a wheel and they
Oh
were
my
like,
God.
this. It's set in the 80s in Chicago. Done.
What movie is
we are
this?
so simpatico because I was listening to I was going to work and I just had Spotify on and I had to keep changing stations because God knows Spotify wants you to hear Beyonce's new album. Jesus Christ. You have to put the most random ass playlist on Spotify. Otherwise, you're going to hear Texas Hold Up, whatever that song is. So anyway, I was finally listening to like not Beyonce. I love it, but it's just like, give me a minute.
Yeah.
And then Love Shack came on.
It's a bop.
And I was like stressed about something from work, and I was just like, oh my God, like there is no way you could be stressed about anything whilst listening to Love Shack.
I don't think they were ever stressed about anything.
Well, they weren't. That was probably drugs. But
I can be stressed. I don't like the sound of the guy's voice.
There's a little stress in
If
there.
Yeah.
10 roof
name?
rusted.
Schneider?
Means you're pregnant.
Roof.
Anytime that fucking annoying
does
guy's
it?
That means
voice
you're
comes
pregnant.
on.
Yeah.
Ruined my childhood. Okay.
I like the female vocals in B-52s, but anytime that dude comes like, then I get stressed again.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
it's
just
that sucks.
his look
I
too.
I will
those
say
eyes.
it's the most
I don't like
effective
him.
way to remember different sea creatures because if you do Rock Lobster, he's like, here comes a narwhal.
I guess, but I remember him more like a Vietnam vet remembers
Yeah.
the war. You know what I mean? Every time I hear the word rock lobster, I say, and I just my eyes go blank and I get the 1,000-yard stare.
I
think
don't,
of
Start
don't know
pissing
how
yourself.
often
Yeah,
Rock
yeah, I hate
Lobster
it.
comes up in your life. Are you ordering Rock Lobster?
Not every
Are
day,
you
but
rich?
still too often. Still too often.
too often.
Twice a year is too often. That's how much I hate that song.
Anyway, just okay. My final advice for this woman is: listen, it's you do you, and I think that if you at the end of the day feel controlled, then that's not a great relationship for you. And when I say not a great relationship for you, I mean you need to break up with this guy. He just sounds like a dick. Who cares? Because it also could like. He takes away your baby blanket, and you're like, fine, okay, whatever. I'm not going to use it anymore.
Starts with the baby
he's gonna
blanket.
be like, stop getting your period on the third. And you're going to be
Can
like,
you just get an IUD for me? Come on now.
And then it's going to be a whole host of issues. And
I also wonder if it's like something about he's like, I'm 29 and she's just 26. Like he's like, I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm
Defo.
technically actually a millennial. Like he's one of those guys.
Why can't she age backwards? Why are
Yeah.
her numbers going
She
up?
doesn't
This
even
is
remember
bullshit.
Lizzie McGuire. Like he's like one of those guys.
I'm like so much more worldly than
Yeah,
you.
it's been
Yeah.
3 years since I was 26. A lot's happened. So.
I remember 97 and you don't.
Yeah.
You would understand if you were in your late 20s instead of mid 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, let me handle this.
I gave away my baby
26
blanket a
was so-
long time ago.
Any other final advice?
Compromise. I mean, how long has this relationship been going on? You know, is it worth salvaging? And
No.
what is it
it's
that
not
he can compromise that
specified the
she
length.
now needs to not focus on the baby blanket? But still, if it's a source of relief and stress reliever,
Oh yeah.
come on, relax, dude.
Well, he just sounds like a dick.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does.
Yeah. She sounds like she maybe would want to like look into BetterHelp or something like that, but he sounds like a dick, and that you can't really fix your way out of.
Yeah,
I think
you can
she
only fix yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she should tie him to a chair with her baby blanket, tie his wrist with it, and force him to listen to that fucking Rock Lobster song until he goes insane. Fuck this guy,
I like
dude.
the idea of the Rock Lobster song with a baby blanket because the "Here Comes a Narwhal" sounds
Yeah.
like someone feeding a baby peas. Like "Here comes a narwhal."
Dude, all you would have to do is play that song for me 3 times in a row, and I would be screaming like that guy in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
Listen
yeah,
to the
yeah.
baritone. Just make it stop!
Wait,
I love the B-52s.
You don't like
fucking hate 'em.
Love Shack?
I hate Love Shack. I fucking hate that
Does
song.
that mean you love Hate Shack?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Thank you.
He does now.
If it was a restaurant, I'd buy a burger and fries from it. That's right.
Hate Shack. You mean the GOP convention? I don't know. There's
Yeah.
something in there.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. I think we answered that one perfectly. Let's take
Perfect.
our next question from the wild animals on Reddit. If you guys got any questions, any comments to put them right there into the chat. We're live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. This is a Twisted Cupid podcast, that is. Let's take our next question from the wild animals on Reddit.
So this next question, let me just preface by saying it's a long one, but it's there's a lot of juice. So just there's a lot of
I knew you were
juice.
gonna say juicy.
So strap in.
Nice.
Nice.
Second question: discovered my deceased husband's affair. I I'm 60 and my husband died 3.5 years ago when he was 62. I always thought we had such a good marriage. We rarely argued. We had 4 great kids. In 2012, I started a master's program, so was away from home a few evenings a week. Our kids were all grown and moved away from home, and so my husband was super supportive. We had, when I had tons of homework, he was happy to leave for the weekend so that I would have the whole weekend undisturbed to do my homework. He never complained when
That's nice of him.
He never complained when I had to visit my my classmates. He wasn't visiting friends. He was spending time with his girlfriend. I never had a clue.
I knew there was a reason he gave me my baby blanket back.
How I found out was I was finally cleaning out his nightstand. I have cleaned out everything else from the last 3.5 years. His dresser, closet, until his nightstand. There were cards and notes from her. A very expensive men's watch and gold chain that I didn't buy him.
He died with the love notes in the nightstand?
I mean,
they were all
right there under her nose the whole time. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. They were all signed Fred with a heart around it. I pulled out his phone and that I had saved, charged it, opened it up, and I found her, Frida, and found lots of pics. Many of the pictures were her and her kids. Then there was an ultrasound. And her asking him when he was going to tell me when he was going to get a divorce. She wanted to have the child to have its real father. He kept telling her soon that he loved her, but he didn't want to hurt me. I couldn't stop reading, but I felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest. The last 9 years of our marriage was a lie. The last messages were 2028. He told her that he couldn't leave me because I had cancer. He needed to concentrate on me.
Did she really have cancer?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Because I was going to say, dude, this guy's my hero if he was lying about that.
He needed to concentrate on me and what we had left. I've been crying on and off all day. My daughter lives with me and asked me what was wrong. I told her that it was really hard cleaning out, the last of my husband's things. Should I leave it at that or destroy the image that she and our 3 other children have of their father, that he had an affair and potentially has another child?
Oh, man, that's a fucking rough one.
Come clean. Fuck him.
The blanket one was so much easier.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Holy
God.
shit. That was T-ball. This is the
right
goddamn
there
World
in her
Series.
nightstand the whole time.
That's why I didn't start with this question.
Yeah.
This was too, Tom Cruise at the beginning.
Can I just start by saying
we need a little goose?
I was impressed right at the beginning just because she's a 60-year-old on Reddit. And also,
she's 60. I
That's a
missed
Very
it.
eloquent.
I
by
was
the
like,
way.
holy shit. And also, she went to grad school when she was minimum 48. I don't know when this was posted, but it sounds like she was in her 50s when she went to get her master's.
Yeah.
And then he's fathering a child at 60. These people are vivacious.
Dude, he is. He's like, yeah, go get your master degrees. I got plans.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's
This is hilarious, dude.
So her question, just to be clear,
Yeah,
is
it's-
not necessarily, do I... she's obviously, shattered by the whole situation.
Poor
But
thing.
her question is more of, does she tell her 3 grown children about her father being a scumbag?
This show's pretty popular, so they already know.
Yeah.
watching
If you're out there on the live chat, tell us if you found out about your dad banging some lady and getting a secret.
I mean, what? Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. And I think she has a better excuse. Like I could see it being slightly more gray water, though I would still lean towards telling them if there wasn't a child on the way, but they deserve to know if they have a potential sibling.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
also, like, I know for my mom, first off, my dad would never cheat on my mom. He could never get anyone else. No, they're great. No, seriously. They're perfect for each other. But
Your mom is like the hottest woman in Benihana's. Like, just throwing it
they
out there.
were each other's first and they met in law school. So I'm
Shut
pretty
up.
sure
Oh, that's wild, man.
they
Wait,
like,
their first was in law school?
their first relationship.
Oh.
But
Uh-oh.
also,
Not
I don't know.
virgins.
I don't need to know about your parents.
Also,
Yeah.
I think I don't know. We'll get. They're not watching this.
Hannah
but
is going to eat these words if it
That's
turns
okay.
out next week she has a secret
We don't need
3-year-old
to get
daughter.
it. We don't need to get into
Sure,
that.
but the point is, that first off, fuck this guy. She had cancer. What the fuck? Also,
Right.
he died first. I think that's great.
As an atheist, I barely ever
and
say this.
died
God
before
did
he
that
could
shit.
clean out his nightstand.
Dude,
I
that's-
know. You think it's the browser history, but
Dude,
physical
Jesus.
notes.
This is some boomer shit.
That's how you know
Writes
they're
with the
sexy.
love letters.
Her.
Yeah, he keeps the love. Well, I guess I'll just keep these
He
on
looks
my
at-
pillow
Why
where my
was
wife
mentioning
doesn't
my
look.
parents,
Actually,
though?
this is
Sorry, just the reason I was mentioning my parents is like I'm incredibly close with my mom, and like I think we have the relationship now where like she's always been my confidant, but now I can also be hers.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I know too much about their sex life. No, but like no, but I think like when my mom's upset about something, she'll come to me, like we'll talk it through. You know, I'm like this poor woman feels all alone. If she has this adult daughter, I hope they're close enough that she can be like, I'm going through something.
I mean, I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I would at least figure out whether that kid was born before I tell the kids. Because if the dad was alive, that'd be one thing. But I'm also like, you know, the guy died. God clearly took care of the problem. You know what I mean? Like you know, he sorted him out. Karma got him.
I'm kind of Chris. Well, Chris, finish your thought because you were thinking exactly what I was thinking. Like, did he? Because she doesn't say how he died. She said she had cancer, which I you know, she obviously like beat it and is in remission, whatever. But it doesn't specify how he died. So I don't know if he died suddenly. Yeah,
to not
like because I would if the doctor was like, Suzanne, you had 6 hours to live, I'd be like,
best friend.
Got it.
Hey, listen, you need to break into the house, destroy everything, take the nightstand. Just take the whole nightstand.
If the doctor told me I had 6 hours to live, I would first of all go get my hair blown out, get my makeup done, and then I would
there you go.
clean out.
Not going to the ground looking like this.
All the shit that I don't want my husband to find, and then I would lay my beautifully blown out hair onto the pillow and die like a mermaid.
There you go.
And,
this is all wrong. I'm so sorry, but you just call everyone, tell them you love them, and then you eat everything.
Yeah.
You eat everything.
No, I'm doing it like this guy. I'm starting a secret family right before I go. I'm going to conceive a secret love child. Yes, I'm going to die. My last word is going to be like it's going to be like a moan that turns into a
And was it she wanted the cheaty? She wanted her kid, that kid, to have a father, which means all the other ones were bastards.
Well,
did she have kids? The other
so the woman writing the question, she and her husband that cheated, they had 4 children. They were grown. They're all grown
the cheating.
now.
The cheating woman.
The mistress had other children as well.
And not any father, it sounded like. Because she said she wanted a kid to have a father.
That's speculation, guys. That's speculation.
Yeah, you're right. No facts behind that. All we know is semen.
That family tree is like fishing in the Hudson. You might catch something, but probably
you definitely
not.
Get some
I think
something.
that the baby to be born can take solace in the fact that had he been born, his dad would have been like 61. And I don't think he would have had that many years with his dad. I don't think dad's making it to college graduation.
No.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to videotape your wisdom.
Yeah, you don't want to have the Al Pacino baby.
No,
it's crazy.
Jesus,
okay.
This is insane.
Now that we've sort of opined on how we feel about it, I actually have an update.
Oh, wait! Before you read the update, we're behind on comments. We're behind on comments.
Read the comments.
Let's see. Joel on YouTube says, "I'd rather watch Julia Childs than Roberts any day." Yeah. Fuck the B-52s. Oh wait, no, he was talking about Julia Roberts. I'm so dumb. I thought that was
fuck the B-52s.
Whenever Julia Roberts comes up.
Especially
if
that was ever in a Julia Roberts soundtrack.
Julia Roberts is listening to this podcast like, I didn't deserve this.
Yeah, I didn't, because wasn't she in League of Her Own? Come on now.
Julia Roberts?
Roberts, yeah.
She's not in League of Her Own.
Christ!
Not Childs, but Roberts.
Roberts.
Julia Roberts is in
She
Pretty
wasn't
Woman.
in League of Her Own?
Pretty Woman.
No, it's
who was the
Gina
redhead?
Love. It's Gina Davis.
Oh, yeah, redhead.
Yeah.
Good call.
Fuck League of Her Own. No.
Oh,
I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, go
Madonna.
cast Gina Davis in that baseball flick. Julia Roberts would have never been able to pull it off.
Suzanne.
6 foot tall redheads. I mean, a dime a dozen.
Suzanne and Hannah acted like I was like, who the hell is Gandhi? Was he the guy in Harold and Kumar?
Well, it's just, I mean, I feel like more people in America, if you did a like Jimmy Kimmel, like Man on the Street thing, would know who Julia Roberts is. Like
I know who she is. Just in my head, I haven't seen
Emma
the
Roberts'
prostitute movie,
aunt.
right?
Yeah, I didn't. Who's? No, I really don't know her niece.
Also, there's another.
What's the prostitute movie?
Pretty
Pretty
Woman.
Woman. That's what it was.
Yeah, Pretty Woman.
I mean, I just watched Eat, Pray, Love, so.
Big mistake. Huge.
Huge.
Thank you.
Wait, I got more. I got more. I got
Read
more
the
comments.
comments. Read the
We got more side. We got sidetracked with my horrible Gina Davis reference. Speaking of horses, Mr. Ed, this is Joel on YouTube. Speaking of horses, Mr. Ed was a better actor than her also. Bam, yeah.
But
It's
speaking
going
of
hard.
horses, a reference to Julia Roberts.
They say she's
Childs,
like
Childs.
a horse face, right?
Yeah, no, Julie Childs. Yeah.
It's,
Oh.
This was an insult to women when women had straight teeth. So men didn't know what to do when they were
jealous.
good actors and had straight teeth.
It was
So like
right.
Sarah Jessica Parker is known as Horseface. Julia Roberts is known as Horseface. Again, it's
Okay.
just it's
Is
Mr.
that
Ed,
where that came
the
from?
list goes on.
It's
I thought it was the
purely misogynistic.
longness, but no, it's the teeth.
Yeah, they should get
it's
more
purely
creative
misogynistic.
and call them
It
different
totally
animals.
is.
I feel.
Seabiscuit.
You know, if you're going to insult, yeah, because it's Hack
Lot-
doing the horse stuff.
lot of
Why
horse
isn't
calling.
Tobey Maguire called
Yeah.
Horseface? Yeah.
Anteater face. It's long. It's stretched out.
Dick
Just
was
do.
in the back.
yeah.
All right, let's see. Joel YouTube says, sounds like she should have attended those keg parties after all. That's right.
Oh.
That's right. See, this, I blame the lady writing the question for this. Amy on YouTube says, wow, that's why they, this is producer Amy, wow, that's why they never fought. He had 2 chicks, probably 3. Yeah. Amy says, who dies and leaves the drawer with the trail in it was
Yes.
the unexpected death. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
it had to
Who even
be.
has
Had to
that
have been.
in the drawer in the first place?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
that's
doesn't
nuts.
clean around. I don't know.
This is
That just
crazy
seems-
That's a little
boomer
too
shit
much.
to do. This is insane. This
Master's
guy wanted
degree,
to
but
get
you're
caught.
not-
Yeah, this is like the serial killer who starts leaving. This is Kevin Spacey at the end
Yeah,
of
yeah,
7
yeah.
putting the head in the box. That's what this was. Alexander says, yeah, that's right. My Kevin Spacey
Or
and serial
just
killer
Kevin
references,
Spacey.
dead on. That's right. Alexander on YouTube says, a late husband who plays possum pranks. Yeah.
really gonna
JK,
fuck
got
up Sarah for
you,
a
got
few
you.
Dude, I love this. He's faking his own death
That
to
would
go
be-
a
No,
father to the
it's the
secret
opposite.
family.
He knew he was going to die, so he was like,
Right.
let me set up an elaborate
Let's
prank.
fuck with
She's
them.
going to love
Yeah,
Deb.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Deb is going to love this.
She's gonna find out
She's
right
gonna
before she
find-
goes. This is like a notebook kind of situation where he's been doing. He's like, I can't have her being sad that I'm gone. I know. I'll fake a secret family so she's pissed and doesn't love me anymore, and it'll make it easy.
And
Her
then-
admission into cancer.
And then,
Yeah.
and then it's like that scene in Back to the Future where he's like, Marty McFly, I've got a letter for you. This letter's been sitting here since
Just
1852. It says, "Getcha
Yeah.
from your dead husband."
My dead husband didn't have a secret family. No.
That kid you've been supporting, not mine.
Where we're going, we don't need child
She's
support.
and it's like, what do you want to name the baby? And then he just says, Bazinga. Like, I don't know.
Yes. Okay.
Joel on YouTube says,
Update.
At Amy on YouTube, at producer Amy, his girlfriend smothered him with her baby blanket.
Yeah.
It's a good way to go.
Okay. So do you guys? I'm gonna do the
The
update.
update.
It's
Yeah.
a little long, but I'll do it quickly. So anyway, okay. So obviously she has her husband's cell phone and the number of Frida, the mistress. She tries to call it. It's no longer in service. The next day, I called the company where my husband worked. It talked to the office manager, the woman who had guided me through getting the hoops of getting his last check. So we were very close. Then I asked her if she knew of the other woman. She said everyone knew.
Oh, dude.
Bazinga.
Then,
No way.
Then through my tears, I asked if the child was my husband's. The manager said at first everyone thought they did, but then the baby was born half African American. So obviously not my husband.
She was cheating on the guy.
I did
she
not
was
see
cheating
that
with.
coming.
She's a double cheater.
And
Yeah, oh, yeah,
even though he knew that the baby wasn't his, he did offer to pay her off with money. She still works at the same company.
Dude, this lady is she's like I'm going to sleep around a lot, and then the richest dude I'm banging, I'm going to claim that it's his and try to get money.
And hopefully it's a 60-year-old man.
Uh-huh.
That
Get
was
that
such
money.
a
That's
good
the
twist.
move.
Also,
Yeah.
I love the idea of the twist being like, it turns out the baby is mine. Like, she's pregnant now. I don't know.
Yeah, and
Wow.
also
And everyone knew? That's sad.
That-
No one
That-
told
A
her.
little bit.
that
yeah.
part's sad, but also I know I am an office manager, and I love that this is where my life is going to go.
We're all going to know
in
about
the future, someone's spouse is going to call me and be like, Suzanne, da-da-da. And I'll be like, girl, everyone knew.
Now we ask you a question. Do you say that or you say no?
No, I would be much more discreet. I don't care
Play
about
politics.
my job. I don't care about my job enough to meddle in other people's personal lives.
But wait, this actually raises an important question, which is now that does she know this before she's told the kids? Because now knowing it's not his kid,
right.
does she tell her children?
I know the answer,
Fuck
but
no.
do you guys want to opine? Or
I would say, that's a tough
I still
one now.
hope she tells. At least it depends how close were they. Like, did they worship their dad? Is she gonna like ruin their image of their dad?
I think so. I mean, since they don't have a sibling out there, I would do is I would get a Ouija board and blackmail. That's right.
I think yes, because she needs support. She needs to
I
get
think so
this
too.
out, and they need to
And
help
she's gonna
her
grow up
and
with
not
them.
get the cancer again.
Yeah, and she's gonna grow up with them like telling her grandkids like he was a great man, and
Yeah.
she's just gonna have to sit there
And
and
they may
swallow
have
it.
that cheating shit in their bones. You know?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. That's right. You'll have a black baby.
yeah. So
I love that it turned into 1950s.
I have since I told you the part about the office manager, she said in her comment that after that conversation, she realized since there wasn't a child, she decided to not tell the children.
I think she did the right thing.
But she
it's
told
a noble
Reddit?
thing, but
Well,
but she told
We're her
everybody
stepchildren, I feel.
else.
Reddit readers. We're her
You'd have to
stepchildren that
really
she never
dig
had.
through Reddit.
But
Like,
I
to
also
find
feel no,
that.
not that. I just feel like she clearly needs to get this off her chest. and
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that sounds like maybe she's not as close with her kids as she. I don't know.
I think
just
she did right by her
I
kids.
think
You know
she's-
what I mean?
I
They
think
love
she's
their dad.
definitely one to harp. This is like gonna sound really fucking cunty, so I'm just pressing. Like,
Cool, got it.
she sounds like one to harbor a lot of stuff, and maybe that's why she's already had cancer once. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Uh-huh.
you know it. Like,
It's her
you
bitterness.
Genetic.
you gotta get that shit out because it does eat you alive.
Yeah.
Like, when you have like those big things like that, it's just holding those secrets in does cause your body stress and anxiety. In my humble opinion, I'm not a doctor,
I
but
am.
it's just like so. And she's just like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna
Yeah.
swallow it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's right.
swallow it like my sorority sisters told me to do in the '60s.
And
Her
then
bitterness
the other
went right to her
wait.
pancreas.
That's the other thing too. Is like she's gonna end up like they're gonna say something about like, oh, I really miss dad, and she'll be like, yeah, and they're gonna be like, why is mom a bitch now?
If she gets dementia, like if
oh,
she starts
that would be cool.
No, that's true. That's true because here's the thing.
son of a bitch.
My grandma had dementia really bad. The first thing that goes when you get dementia is your social filter. I heard all kinds of funny fisting jokes at like 9 years old from that old man because he did not realize that it was way inappropriate to tell fucking dirty ass jokes to a 9-year-old. And my granny had to come in and just be like, "What the fuck are you doing right now?" Like,
When my
you know?
grandpa
Teaching
had
them.
it that
Was
she
Yeah.
came
was
downstairs.
she rocking real funny?
Oh
When she
yeah,
would do
Well, yeah.
he method
Was his
acted. He
hand
Daniel
small?
Day-Lewis those fisting jokes.
When my grandpa
No,
was
he was a
losing
bricklayer.
his memory,
They were callous too.
he came downstairs one time when I was visiting, and he said, "I like you. You're not on my list," which is really threatening. But
But feels
I wasn't
good.
on the list. So.
Right, right.
He said he liked
Okay.
me, so
Perfect. I think we answered that question. Are we ready for the last
Absolutely.
question?
Yeah.
Let's
'Cause
take our.
we have a hard
Yes.
out in 15 minutes.
Yes, we got a hard out in 15 minutes. Let's take our last question on the Twisted Cupid podcast. If you guys got questions to write in, write them to twistedcupidpodcast@gmail.com, or even better, write them live in the chat every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Let's take our last one from the Wild Animals on Reddit.
Girlfriend made a pros and cons list. I'm 31 and my girlfriend is 30. She made this whole pros and cons list about me, and I totally stumbled upon it by accident. She said that she made it 8 months ago, 8 months into our relationship, but I only just found it. She's all apologetic, saying that she made it back when she didn't really know me, but I am now worried. The pros and cons list as such. And I had to truncate this because, okay, so red flags. I hate his humor. He lacks class. He's not fancy. Number 4, he's not a doctor.
Wow.
He hates. I hate the nicknames he uses. He won't give me flowers spontaneously. He has crooked teeth. He's not tall. Square mode.
Square mode?
Square made.
Oh, square made.
Face is not square.
Bricklayer.
That's right.
Number
Fuck
10.
a bricklayer. Get pregnant.
Number 10. I'm not obsessed with him. Number 11.
I'm not obsessed with. That's on him.
Number 10. I'm not obsessed with him. Number 11. Alcoholic. Okay.
I love that that's number 11. There's all this petty shit up there.
Number-
Yeah, he blacks out and hits me too, which is annoying.
Number 12. Doesn't wear pink shirts. Okay.
What?
Millennial.
Wait, so he's an alcoholic. Went right in between I'm not obsessed with him and wears pink shirts, or wait, doesn't wear
Does
pink
not.
shirts?
If he-
Wow, that's crazier.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Okay, green flags. 1, he's rich. 2, good in bed. 3, claims he'll take care of kids. 4, he
Wow.
reads books. 5, claims 5, he is clean and neat generally. So his question
You
is,
just described all the things that I'm not.
his
And I'm
que-
most of the things from the cons.
I don't really need to hear the question. They should not be together. She
Yeah.
sounds awful.
Bro, you sound like a 9.997 out of 10, and she's just making up shit.
Or you're just
That's not
whatever,
even a
but
thing.
like her thing she likes the most about you is you're rich, and the thing she
Yeah.
dislikes at the top of the list is your humor. That's like the most fundamental
Yeah.
thing. It's like I
Yeah.
can't stand to spend time with him, but he doesn't leave his toothbrush out. Like
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I think he should stay with her. There's other places to get humor, like the Twisted Cupid podcast.
Ah,
Just tell her to
nice.
like and subscribe and give comments in the chat every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You fuck your girlfriend real good, and we'll tell her dick jokes about it.
let me just say this one thing. If you genuinely think that your partner has a drinking problem, and A, that's number 11 on your list. B, it's not something you've actively addressed in your relationship. Like, the fuck? Like, it's like that's just not a healthy relationship.
You know what?
Full stop.
You know
Like,
what? I'm gonna call this right now. He does not have a drinking problem. I'm gonna say this right now, dude. That guy does not have a drinking problem because here's the thing. Drinking too much is not a problem. It's what you do because you drink that much. I say this as a guy
like
with a
not wear
lifelong
pink
drinking problem.
shirts.
Yeah,
What the
right,
fuck?
right. And so, like, here's the thing: as a dude with a severe drinking problem, if my wife made a con list, I have a lot worse cons than this guy. My drinking problem would be right at the top.
Yeah.
All right, it would be right at the top. And so the fact that it's all the way down between I'm not obsessed with it, which is just vague, nonsensory. What was the one right above I'm not obsessed with it?
Doesn't
Oh,
like
wait.
pink shirts.
Wait, did I
I'm not
also
even gonna
read,
count that
Did
one.
I also read that crooked teeth was above alcoholic?
You fucking whore!
How are you rich
whore!
and you don't fix your own teeth?
Hey, look, I don't know.
That's a red flag.
I don't know if you can see in the camera, but like
too
I hate
drunk
this
to-
woman. I hate this
Can I
woman.
also just make another unrelated point? When I make to-do lists, when I make pros and cons lists, it is to organize my thoughts. It is not to go back and reference later. Who makes a pros and cons list and is like, I'm going to look back on this. I'm going to keep
Yes.
this and
So-
not
so-
toss
Someone
it.
who's not
to be-
sure of the relationship.
a
So
at the
boomer
beginning.
to be clear, what he does say in his credit is that she says that she made the pros and cons list 8 years ago. He
This woman's
quote
insane.
unquote stumbled upon it, which could mean he was snooping in the nightstand.
Yes.
Which we obviously know is the holy grail of where
But
all
just
relationship
why-
secrets should
Yep.
lie.
Why
They've
keep
been
it?
together for
Right,
8
this is
years.
insane. It's an insane thing to keep.
Let's
Or it was 8
update
months
that
ago.
pros and cons. Oh, 8 months.
She made the pros and cons list 8 months ago. Does not say
8 months
when
ago.
they started
even,
dating.
dude, even if it was 8 minutes
But
ago.
they're 31 and 30. So they've
Dude.
probably been dating a minute.
Wait,
Yeah.
she's
Is she the secret granddaughter of the guy from the last question? Why is she keeping this shit around?
I'm sorry, but
it's
she's
ridiculous.
30 and she's like, he's rich. He doesn't wear pink shirts. Like,
Yeah,
What the
seriously.
fuck?
Yeah, rich in your
the
30s.
26-year-old with the
Alcoholic
blanket
isn't
sounds
up there.
more like
Yeah.
adjusted.
Uh-huh.
I love the idea
She's
that
nuts.
you're like a high school guidance counselor. It's like use active verbs. He is rich. He portrays rich.
That's right.
Why I like this job.
I
Yeah.
think she's going Nancy Reagan on this dude. He does not have a drinking problem. Otherwise, it
Maybe
would be
she
higher on
doesn't
the list
have a
and there would
sense of
be-
humor.
Dude,
Maybe
yeah.
he's
Well,
funny
she
and
sounds
she
like
doesn't.
her personality is, and I'm going to call back to the first person, wet blanket.
Yeah.
She sounds not fun.
Also,
Now, I'm thinking more like Dalmatian jacket. She sounds like a young, sexy Cruella de Vil.
Oh.
That's
also
what I'm picturing right
the
now.
one thing is again a pro that she listed was that he's rich, yet a con that she listed was that he's not a doctor. What?
Wait,
Like,
what? That means he's got money
that
and he's
doesn't-
not 200 grand in debt. What are we talking about now?
And has time
he
to hang
doesn't-
out with you.
Yeah, and he doesn't work like a. Well, I
Right.
mean, maybe he works a lot.
Also,
but he's
I just
not,
guarantee you, she's
covered
like,
in coronavirus.
I don't know what she does for a
doctors are
living, but I
disgusting.
guarantee you, she's like, I was the marketing major. Like
Yeah.
she
She's
wants
awful.
to marry a doc. She's not a doctor.
No.
I'm just telling you, she's not a doctor.
She's
Sorry,
what-
marketing majors.
This
She's
sounds
what
like
made
she
him
had a
dating experts.
checklist.
Yeah.
Doctor, wears pink shirts, rich.
Straight teeth.
Yeah, what kind of OCD shit is this? Hey, yeah, fuck her for the straight teeth thing.
So- Yeah.
Ooh, I hate her for that.
I say fuck him. He should get his teeth fixed if he has so much money.
I say fuck him because one of his pros was he's good at fucking.
Sorry. This is like a very
Just don't
intentional.
talk to him 'cause he doesn't
This
have
was
good
very
jokes.
intentional because in just the last question we talked about the definition of horse face, and it was getting your teeth fixed. And then you get called horse face. So Chris,
He doesn't wanna be called
he's
horse
not
face.
getting his teeth
True.
fixed because he doesn't want to get called Sarah Jessica Parker
By
horse
his
face.
girlfriend.
Because he's
By his
what? Not a
girlfriend.
sellout. He's not a sellout.
Which,
They
to be
deserve to be
clear-
shamed for selling out. You should have the teeth that God gave you.
I want to go on the record by saying that I think Julia Roberts and Sarah Jessica Parker are beautiful. You know, these
They sold out.
These horse face comments are purely misogynistic. So, but again,
These
it's,
dames shouldn't have got their teeth
it's-
fixed. That's what I say.
it's one of those things of punching up, right? It's like, oh, you got so much money, oh, your teeth are so perfect. It's like Hillary Duff got her teeth done, and everyone's like, oh, you're such a fucking whore. You look terrible now. You know. It's a
Yeah. I never really noticed any teeth stuff till now. I somehow blocked that out when I'm looking at people. But
Well, I don't care if they're straight. I just want people to like brush their teeth.
well, now you're
Yeah,
getting
I
picky
guess-
about
I
it too.
care
That
more
makes-
about I care more about the words coming out of their mouth.
That's
No?
true, but
Am
also
am I old school?
the words
now?
coming out of
That's
their
right.
mouth, but also if I'm being honest, the breath coming out of their mouth is important to me because I have to kiss
Nope,
that mouth.
Don't care.
Um,
Don't care.
but-
If they tell
Well-
me I'm funny, I'm like, I'll talk
Can
to
I
you
say
go.
the
Yeah.
thing that I think is so disappointing
I can pinch my
on
nose
this
to a
list?
compliment.
This list is so disappointing. The nickname one. He sounds charming and delightful. He's making little jokes. He's calling you cute nicknames. She's like, I don't like that nickname.
That's right.
Like,
I think
what?
she's too dumb to get the jokes. I think they're over her head or between her teeth.
I think he made
Yeah.
her listen to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me once, and she was like, who is Maraca? Like, she was just not into it.
Yeah.
I think that
I hate her and her stupid tooth job.
So I want to say one thing. I think that it's not tolerance. Like, that's not a good word to use when it comes to relationships. But I think that it's, you know, when you find someone that you really click with, which doesn't obviously happen a lot, there's obviously some tolerance that comes into the relationship. And, you know,
Especially if you got a drinking problem.
yeah, there's other words for it. There's compromise. You know, it's not compromise per se. I think it's tolerance. You know, there are things that my husband does that it's, if you, on the face of them, if I was like, oh, I went on a date with this guy and he did this, people would be like, oh yeah, never see him again. It's like, no, but like the rest of the package is so great.
Yeah.
It's like there is a tolerance perspective when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, so to her credit, she's saying it's 8 months ago. Again, I think it's a little blurry that he's like, how did you find this secret diary?
No, yeah, he
pros
for
and
sure
cons
snooped.
list?
He for
that
sure
part
snooped.
is very well glazed over. So it's, but also at the end of the day, just ask her, say, are these things that you think about me still? And if she's like, yep, defos. But obviously the fact that she's already kind of like backtracking from it, it's like there's a tolerance that she's.
But
that
there's
she
a
has.
tolerance for
nah.
like, I disagree. I think there's
know
like
what
a
I mean?
tolerance for bad habits or like a tolerance for like, I don't
Yeah.
like how you say this. There's not like a tolerance for, I
This
don't
is
like your
deep.
personality.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, the
it
I don't
sounds
like your
she does
personality
not
thing is
like
rough.
him.
Right.
Like, I'm tolerant
Yeah.
of his everything about him. Like,
Yeah.
what?
About his money.
This would be the like,
Humor? That's like what?
yeah, I mean, if
I
I was
don't
like,
like
I
his
love
face.
everything about
Sorry.
my wife except for her stupid face and body and soul. You know what I
I
mean? It
think
would
that's
just be
what
like,
she
what?
said.
What are you talking
And
about?
I'm obviously playing the devil's advocate in this. But what if she, like, they had gone out to a bar, you know, he got shit-faced, like maybe the first time she ever saw him really drunk, and then she wrote this list, and she's like, he's an alcoholic, and that's why it was
Nah,
11.
Again, alcoholic would have been one. It would have been top 3 for sure if he really had a drinking problem. 2, if she was like, wow, that was, I should really, she would have gotten rid of the list.
I just think,
you don't
like,
leave this sitting around.
I
man.
don't know what this guy's deal
She
is, but
pondered on
just
this.
all we know is about this woman based on what she's writing about him. And it sounds like she is shallow and if I'm writing a pros cons
She's
list,
awful.
I'm going to be like, does he align with my values? Like, do I feel like we would co-parent well? Like, will my family like him? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels like she's like, he is rich. His teeth are crooked. Like,
I really hate this woman.
There's not another dimension to her.
right.
No.
And
Yeah.
even if you can justify some of the things she put on the cons list, it's like, it sounds like she doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Be with someone who likes, be with someone you're not going to be self-conscious the whole time. Like, shit, does she still like me?
Yeah. The best advice I could give to this guy, and I take this very personal because drinking problem and crooked teeth are the two things that best describe me. So just know that. But I think he should break up with her, go to England, and get him a crooked toothed princess. That's what I say.
Yes.
Kate Middleton, somebody.
Someone
not-
British. Just
yeah.
go to England.
But make sure it's a British princess. Don't Meghan Markle fuck the whole thing up. So make sure
Well,
it's an
her
actual
teeth are
British.
great.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Meghan
Is Meghan Markle who wrote this?
Meghan Markle made it sexy. What are you talking about? Prince Harry was the hugest booze hound of the whole royal family.
Oh yeah, Prince Harry's would be. He had to get drunk enough to
Yeah,
marry Meghan Markle. You know what I mean? So
don't
what are
make
we
me
doing?
Don't make
Gorgeous.
me Google the pictures of him naked in Las Vegas drinking.
Oh, I already
can
have.
actually make
He's
I
not.
make her do it.
He's
Oh, yeah.
not a assignment. Anyway, whatever. Okay, my final advice for this person is just break up with this bitch because it just sounds gross when you have a pros and cons list about a person because also she's diminishing you to that. Like she is taking your whole personality because people are a million different things, and the fact that she's like meh, 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 and her little like Dear Diary with a locket.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that.
She's
It's
awful.
like I just think I just think it's demeaning, and if she thinks about you like that, then
She doesn't like you.
Yeah, she doesn't like. Then she doesn't like
Is that
you.
what everyone says? Like, I want to know. There's some like, am I the asshole stuff on Reddit where I'm like, what a conundrum. But then there's some where I'm like, oh, I can't wait for them to tear this person to
Right.
shreds.
Yeah.
And this one in the comments, they're all going to be like, you idiot, break up with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Definitely.
I'm
It's
sort of like
inevitable. She's going to break up with you eventually.
Yeah.
What if you
Right.
didn't have the money?
With
What
that-
if you didn't have those cool teeth?
Yeah. It's I'm telling you, this is a lady who's using you for your money. There's no way you have that much shit in the con section and they go, but it's rich. Like, this is a lady who, if you marry her, she will clean you out in divorce court and go bang some guy who's not you. And
But I will
who is
say,
hilarious.
for what sounds like she was rating a brutally honest cons list that she did not think he was ever going to see, she was like, he's a good lay.
Yeah.
I would hang my head on that. If you're
Well-
going to break up, be like, okay, my dad jokes aren't landing, my teeth aren't straight,
That's
but
a good
I
point.
can fuck.
Sorry, can I just add to your comment? That's certainly a compliment that you lay your head down on your pillow, but something you open with on your next date.
That's right. That's right. And
And it wasn't at the top of the list either.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
And here's the thing: as somebody who again genuinely has a drinking problem, Goodlay wouldn't really be on there if he had a drinking problem. I know that firsthand.
No.
I think he should break up with her by writing a pros and cons list and be like, pros, question mark, cons, terrible lay. And then just,
Nice.
okay, don't do that. That's mean. But also, she just sounds awful.
Yeah, she's
Also,
pretty
I'm
terrible,
like,
man.
if you're going to Reddit for this, break up with her.
Yeah, right. I mean, she's insane.
That's 99%.
Dude, the stuff in the pros category was like, he's rich, he's a good lay, he's good with kids. It's like you just described your Prince Charming line, but it's like, he doesn't wear pink shirts. It's like, what kind of madness is this?
Yeah.
Also,
That
is
one
it
got
because she offered him like this nice pink shirt and he was like, I'm a man, I don't wear pink? Like, where my one thing of defense for her, not really, I still think she's awful, but what if it's like his jokes were misogynistic or like, I don't like his humor because it's racist? Like, we don't know. Also, if she was just like,
come on now.
I want him to wear pink shirts and he's like, I don't wear pink. But I feel like that one's really random. Is it
It
just
is.
that he
It's-
doesn't own pink shirts? Because if he has money, this is such a wild concept. You can actually buy pink shirts.
That's right.
What?
That's right.
You can fix that, right?
Are you
But-
serious?
Am I wrong? Money
I
can be
I
exchanged for
thought, I
goods and
thought you
services?
just had to find a neighbor in the local laundromat that had a red shirt washing. Throw your white shirt in there.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Pink
the
shirt.
only way.
It's like a Dread
Sabotage.
Pirate
I thought
Roberts.
that
There's
was-
only one
Yeah.
pink
That's
shirt.
right.
You
I
just
thought that was
kill-
the only way that you could get red shirts. You had to pirate someone
That's right.
else's red shirt.
I saw that classic episode of The Simpsons. I know how that works. She could Bart Simpson and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
because she's damn sure not going to buy it because she's what? A sugar baby. That's what's going on here.
Perfect. I think we answered the question. I think we answered all the
Absolutely.
questions awesomely well.
Absolutely. Thank you
And we
so
need to-
much to
yeah.
our awesome guests, man.
Yeah.
Thank you to Hannah Lieberman. Thank you to Chris Wagner. Thank you, most of all, to the listeners, man. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Most of all, thank you to Abiola. Thank you to Alexander.
Hi,
Thank you to
Abiola.
Tom. Thank you to producer
Thanks,
Amy. Thank you to
Tom.
Joel.
Thanks, Joel.
Until next week, this is a Twisted Cupid podcast. Like and subscribe us on YouTube and any place you find us. It helps us out a lot. Until next week, later.
Thank you.